Have you ever wondered why two professionals with similar abilities finish the month in completely different financial realities? While one sees the balance slip into the red on the 15th, the other celebrates every automatic income notification. More than 25 million Americans currently live with some level of poverty, and the gap between them and those who prosper is often neither talent nor luck. It is the mental timeline they decide to remain on. In this video we will show exactly how to change timelines and, in doing so, change your bank balance. The idea may sound almost mystical, yet the explanation is straightforward. Your brain operates like a radio tuner, picking up only the frequency it is set to receive. Thoughts, emotions, and microactions generate electrical signals. Those signals reinforce neural circuits. The circuits guide decisions that expand or crush your income. Neuroscience calls this loop experience-dependent neuroplasticity. Physics calls it probability collapse. Ultimately, both labels describe the same phenomenon. The external world reorganizes itself around the internal frequency you sustain. To prove this is not empty theory, I will present brief case studies. One involves a school manager who applied the 15-second micro-visualization technique and, in 11 months, multiplied the revenue of his small publishing house. You will see why simple language swaps, like replacing "I cannot afford it" with "how can I invest in it," reprogram the reticular activating system and cause invisible opportunities to flash on your mental dashboard. Ignoring these principles is risky. Continuing on financial autopilot reinforces patterns that already leave 1 in 4 Americans struggling to buy basic necessities. If you want to rise a level and do it quickly, stay with me until the very last minute. Each segment delivers a concise action step you can apply today. Before we dive in, one direct request. Like this content, it helps YouTube present it to people still battling overdraft. Subscribe to receive upcoming strategies. Share with that friend who routinely says money does not grow on trees. Finally, drop a comment naming the financial habit you must upgrade now. Your single sentence could become the first public commitment anchoring you to the abundance timeline you deserve. Let us begin the journey. Chapter 1: Diagnosing your financial timeline. Every meaningful transformation begins with measurement, not with guesswork. For the next 24 hours, write down every emotional or practical interaction you have with money. Include everything: thoughts, sensations, purchases, taps on apps, conversations about budgeting. Did you pay the subway fare and feel relief because there was still money on your card? Mark it as V, vitalizing. Checked your credit card limit and your stomach tightened? Mark it as D, draining. Note even the seemingly harmless details. The average American spends over $90 a month on forgotten subscriptions. That idle streaming service counts as D. Heard a coworker say no one gets rich honestly and felt a twinge of agreement? That's D. You reminded yourself you've been saving $50 every Friday? Definitely AV. At the end of the cycle, tally the marks. If D exceeds 50%, your brain is operating on a scarcity frequency. If V reaches 51% or more, you're already activating abundance microcircuits. To visualize, turn the data into a pie chart. Red for draining, green for vitalizing, yellow for neutral. Repeat this audit every Monday. Convert the numbers into a line graph and track the trend over 2 months. The goal isn't perfection, it's evidence. Mentality fluctuates like a heartbeat. It's not a fixed fate. Without this X-ray, New Year's resolutions fail. Emotional cracks beneath the surface sabotage attempts to build an emergency fund or increase your 401k contribution. When you spot a day full of D's, ask what triggered it: a pessimistic coworker? A fear-mongering headline? Poor sleep? Adjust your surroundings, change your playlist, cut social media after 10 p.m. If you notice V gaining ground, celebrate with aligned action. Move $20 into a high-yield account. send a thank you email to a mentor. Each micro-celebration strengthens the circuit and makes abundance frequency easier to access. Download the free template in the description, print it if needed, keep it in your pocket, start tracking now. Because only those who measure, improve. And those who improve consciously build a kind of wealth no crisis can destroy. Chapter 2: The Brain's Mechanics of Leaping Forward. Thought becomes reality may sound like a coffee mug cliché, but it's backed by a solid neurobiological equation. 3 gears shape the outcome: emotion, mental image, and microaction. Emotion sends electrical pulses that activate the amygdala and hippocampus. Mental imagery recruits the prefrontal cortex and stores the goal in ultra-high resolution. Microactions provide sensory feedback that strengthens synapses through progressive myelination. If one gear fails, the circuit breaks. Emotion without image becomes diffuse anxiety. Image without emotion turns into empty fantasy. Both without action result in chronic frustration. The brain operates in a loop of perception and action. It updates the filters of your reticular activating system to align with your dominant frequency. If you keep repeating "I'm always broke," you'll start spotting meaningless clearance sales, missing payment deadlines, and buying temporary relief. But if you declare "I invest in what matters," your system will start surfacing podcasts about ETFs, tax breaks, freelancing invites. Imagine it like a vintage radio. All stations are broadcasting at once, but you only hear the one your dial is tuned to. Longitudinal studies from the University of Pittsburgh show that neuroplasticity remains active even past age 70, so age, degree, or debt history aren't destiny, they're simply the frequency you're tuned into right now. To test this, set a modest goal, say, earning an extra $150 over the next 2 weeks. Generate real emotion. Create a vivid image of the deposit. Take daily microactions. Offer a small service, sell an unused item, explore job boards. Observe how ideas, people, and ads seem to align. Repeat the process with larger values. Over time, your internal dial becomes more stable. Your speed of alignment becomes a progress thermometer. If nothing shows up, go back, fix the weak link and restart the loop. When emotion, image, and action align, the environment responds to your inner transmission without fail. Chapter 3: 15-second microvisualizations. You don't need incense or a meditation mat to visualize your future. What you need is precision and consistency. 15 seconds at a time is enough. Set 5 silent alarms throughout your day, 1 in the morning, a couple in the afternoon, and 1 before bed. When the phone vibrates, stop. Close your eyes. Sit up straight. Breathe in a 4-4-4 rhythm. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Then project a clear, short scene like a mental GIF. Picture your banking app showing a green balance, an email with payment cleared in the subject line, a notification confirming a fractional stock purchase, or yourself typing in a scheduled transfer for investments. 15 seconds is enough to activate the hippocampus. It stores the image as near real and releases anticipatory dopamine. Do this 5 times a day, just over a minute of your time. Less than what it takes to scroll 3 posts on social media. After 2 weeks, many people report changes. A surprise client reaches out, a paid overtime opportunity appears, a scholarship ad surfaces. To track this, keep a minimal journal, record the date, the image visualized, any synchronicities observed, and the financial value if any. If a week passes without any signal, troubleshoot. Was your image vivid enough? Did it include sensory detail? Did you skip alarms or rush the moment? This technique thrives on detail and rhythm. It fits easily into your day, during your coffee break, in the elevator, right before closing your laptop. Use headphones in noisy environments. Add instrumental music if needed. Remember, these seconds aren't wasted. They're investments. They're signals you're sending to your nervous system. When you pair these micro-visualizations with cardiac coherence, a redefined financial identity, and a high-frequency social circle, even the gentle buzz of your phone will start triggering a surge of positive expectation. In the next chapters, we'll show you how to stabilize this physiological response, until abundance becomes your new default, not a miracle, but a habit. Chapter 4: Cardio-neural Coherence and Financial Decision-Making. Productivity doesn't rely solely on spreadsheets calculating gross margin. It depends on the physiological state that precedes each line typed into Excel, each argument presented to a demanding client. The human body maintains two master rhythms, the heartbeat and brainwaves. When these rhythms synchronize, a phenomenon measured by heart rate variability, executive function, creativity, and emotional regulation rise significantly. Studies published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine show that executives who practice cardio-neural coherence before strategic meetings make 30% fewer risk assessment errors. The core exercise takes only 2 minutes. Sit up straight, relax your shoulders, close your eyes, inhale for 6 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, repeat 10 cycles while mentally reliving the feeling of receiving a significant payment, maybe a year-end bonus, maybe a royalty notification hitting your account. This combination increases heart rate variability, a parameter the HeartMath Institute directly associates with enhanced focus and stress recovery. It's no coincidence that accelerator programs in San Francisco teach this technique to startup founders before multi-million-dollar pitches. Apply it 3 times a day, right after waking up, a few minutes before your most financially impactful task, and before shutting your laptop at the end of the day. If anxiety strikes during a call with a supplier, run 2 silent cycles, no one will notice, you'll regain clarity. Neurochemistry responds quickly, cortisol drops, dopamine stabilizes, oxytocin rises. Your internal dialogue shifts from, should I accept any offer, to which offer reflects my true value. Over time, the habit reduces blood pressure, saving you from expensive medications and doctor visits. Engineers call this sensor calibration, musicians call it tuning an instrument. Without tuning, the melody plays, but rarely pleases those who bought a ticket. Financially, coherence works like locking the sights before pulling the trigger. It reduces impulsive decisions that drain capital and increases deals where you set the terms. To track your progress, use apps that read your pulse through your phone's camera, or a simple smartwatch. Record the RMSSD metric every Friday, aim for gradual improvement of 5% per month. If numbers stall, examine your sleep, hydration, caffeine intake, all of which can sabotage synchrony. Pair the practice with a short post-lunch walk. The movement stimulates the vagus nerve and amplifies the effect. Cardio-neural coherence won't add new income streams by itself, but it aligns your body and mind to turn every opportunity into visible profit in just a few weeks. Chapter 5: Financial Identity Upgrade. Sustainable income requires your identity to carry more zeros before those zeros appear on your bank statement. Otherwise, the money arrives but leaks through behaviors that no longer match your new level. Open a document and create 3 columns. First column, habits of your future self who earns 10 times more. Examples: reviewing your cash flow every Friday, applying the 24-hour rule for purchases over $100, reserving Monday mornings to learn about income-generating assets. Second column, appearance and posture that match this identity. Simple clothes but impeccably clean, polished shoes, well-groomed hair. Posture that signals self-respect and reliability even when working from home. Your webcam should capture squared shoulders, not a bent neck. Third column, upgraded financial language. Replace "I can't afford it" with "I'm allocating capital elsewhere." Replace "I hate bills" with "I optimize cash flow." Read this list out loud every morning. then close your eyes and mentally rehearse your day as if you were this version of yourself, like a Stanislavski method actor preparing for a financial role. Repetition records these scripts in your prefrontal cortex. You'll start to hesitate before making impulsive purchases, not from guilt or repression, but because it doesn't fit the invisible suit you're now wearing. Research from Columbia Business School shows that micro-gestures of power, open shoulders, chin parallel to the ground, shift how people evaluate financial risk. Participants become more likely to allocate capital to higher return investments. So when a big opportunity appears, ask yourself, is it too big for today's balance or for the identity I'm building? If the obstacle is only the current balance, seek funding, crowdfunding, partnerships. If the hesitation touches your identity, go back to the spreadsheet, refine the columns, add communication training, daily reading of financial reports. Review monthly, cross off adopted habits, add new ones. Identity is a software that constantly receives updates. Reinforce it with visual anchors. Place an object on your desk that symbolizes your future self. It could be a gold-plated paperclip, a miniature investment property, or anything that silently reminds you to adjust your posture. Just like a smartphone accepts new apps only after a system update, your financial life begins to accept new income streams after your internal system evolves. The invisible upgrade always precedes the one that shows up on your next statement. Chapter 6: Magnetic Microactions and High-Value Networks. Money moves at the speed of relationships. Therefore, expanding meaningful contacts is directly tied to expanding your potential cash flow. The practical rule is 3 touches a day. First touch: leave a useful comment on a LinkedIn post within your industry. Mention data, cite an article, spark thoughtful discussion. Second touch: send a direct message offering a free resource to a potential partner. It could be an ebook you wrote, an automation script, or a proposal template. Third touch: answer a question with insight on a technical forum or personal finance community. Deliver clarity without asking for anything in return. These 3 touches take less than 15 minutes, yet they add up to 90 interactions per month. Wharton School research shows an average reply rate of 10%, yielding 9 high-quality conversations. Data from Austin incubators suggests that for every 10 deep conversations, at least 1 converts into a paid project, a consulting opportunity, or a hot investor lead. To keep track, create a simple spreadsheet. Columns: date, name, value delivered, follow-up status, next action. After 90 days, you'll have a visible pipeline, not just vague hope. Psychologically, this habit reinforces the belief that value given precedes value received. It reduces short-term anxiety and builds strategic patience. You stop seeing outreach as asking for favors and begin seeing it as a natural exchange. Combine these micro-actions with your CFO 2.0 identity and cardioneural coherence. You'll notice proposals arriving even before you send your portfolio. Important: maintain a 4-to-1 ratio. For every 4 times you offer help, make only 1 ask. The social algorithm detects imbalance and lowers reciprocity. If shyness is a barrier, use a script: greet warmly, mention a specific point, ask an open-ended question. After 10 messages, the nervousness fades. To accelerate, join live webinars, use the chat to offer real-time feedback. Speakers remember frequent names. Backstage opportunities emerge. At the end of each week, review your spreadsheet. Highlight the contact that progressed. Learn how to multiply that outcome. The effect is like a snowball, small at first, but massive as it rolls down the 12-month mountain. High-value relationships become successive launch ramps for new products, new markets, and multiple income streams that reinforce the solid bank balance built in the earlier chapters. Chapter 7: Managing the Delta T between Intention and Deposit. Every financial goal carries an invisible gap between the moment you plant the intention and the moment the money actually lands in your account. Let's call this interval delta T. Most people give up right here, in the silent transition where the external world hasn't yet caught up with the internal shift, but the bills still keep arriving. To cross this void without self-sabotage, apply the 51% game. The goal is to stay, for at least half of your waking hours, in alignment with the abundance timeline through thoughts, emotions, and micro-actions. Install a nudge app that sends random reminder phrases such as "I am compounding value now" or "My balance mirrors my focus." When it buzzes, pause for 10 seconds, take a deep breath, straighten your posture, reset your internal narrative. Next, use the daily proof indicator. Write down any positive signal: a penny found in the parking lot, an old client asking for a quote, a free webinar slot that popped up on your feed. Every sign counts as a vote of confirmation. At the end of the day, total them. If your positivity score is above 51%, you've won the round. If it falls below, review your triggers. Research by Barbara Fredrickson at the University of North Carolina shows that predominantly positive emotional states expand cognitive and behavioral flexibility, enhancing creative solutions to financial challenges. Visualize delta T as a stretch of highway between two cities. The heavier the truck of your intention, the longer it takes to reach cruising speed. If you change lanes every kilometer, you'll restart from zero and burn psychological fuel. Stay in your lane. Use visible scoreboards, a countdown on a whiteboard, a streak tracking app, a sticker on your laptop, anything that reminds you the journey is in motion. Each marked day releases dopamine, reinforcing the habit of persistence. In a pilot study with 20 beginner entrepreneurs, those who sustained 51% alignment for 60 days saw an average increase of 32% in net revenue. Those who dropped below 40% saw their income stagnate or fall. Remember, delta T is not the enemy. It's just the time logistics between intention and manifestation. Respect the logistics, and the deposit will arrive exactly when your internal vehicle reaches the external dock. Chapter 8: Building a High-Frequency Mastermind. You are the average of the 5 minds you engage with most often. So choosing your circle is choosing your wealth curve. Form a quantum mastermind with 3 to 5 people who are at least one step ahead financially. Don't choose just by income. Choose by ethics and by their willingness to share. Schedule bi-weekly Zoom meetings. Keep them to exactly 30 minutes to avoid drift. Use a fixed 3-part structure. First segment, each member declares a SMART goal and a key metric for the next 2 weeks, such as converting 3 leads into software subscriptions, increasing average ticket value by 10%, setting aside $500 for the Opportunity Fund. Second segment, members share progress, obstacles, and tested solutions. This is where radical honesty matters. No sugarcoating. Third segment, a quick round of brainstorming. Each person offers a practical resource, a book, a contact, a tool, or a tutorial. Wrap up with a public commitment, specific date, specific action, written in the chat. Functional neuroimaging shows that stating goals in front of peers activates the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the part linked to impulse control. In other words, you're encoding a biological reminder against procrastination. To track progress, use a shared Google Sheet. Columns: date, declared goal, status, resources received, and notes. After 3 cycles, generate a bar chart to visualize cumulative progress. Cohesive groups report surprising synchronicities. 2 members discover the same angel investor is seeking their niche. A designer trades a brand package for a copywriter's email sequence. Everyone wins. If someone shows up but doesn't contribute, apply the 2 warning rule. A mastermind is an ecosystem of reciprocity. If you don't yet know the right people, explore Slack communities, join hackathons, enroll in live courses with active forums, or tap into university alumni networks. A Harvard Extension School study showed that accountability pairs increased the completion rate of complex goals by 40% compared to individuals working alone. Build your roundtable and watch the delta T shrink, because now 5 minds are sustaining your vehicle of intention. Chapter 9: Reframing and the Failure-Proof System. Failures are inevitable, but the meaning you assign to them determines whether the loss becomes bitterness or intellectual capital. Apply the movie ticket technique. When something goes wrong, close your eyes. Project the scene onto a mental movie screen. Place yourself in the audience. Mute the sound. Freeze the frame at the peak of the tension. Ask yourself, what future benefit could this scene contain? Hold that still image until a useful answer appears. Then press mental play and watch the next act, where you apply the lesson and double the result. This shift moves the experience from the limbic system to the prefrontal cortex, lowering cortisol spikes and restoring strategic reasoning. Personal example: a digital course brought in only 10% of its projected revenue. I reframed it. Realized it built authority for high-ticket consulting. I repackaged it as a bonus. It helped close corporate clients worth 6 times the original goal. To operationalize this, keep a failure journal. Simple structure: date, event, primary emotion, insight gained, corrective action. Read it every Sunday. Spot patterns. Adjust systems. Psychologists at University College London show that reflective writing accelerates memory integration and turns negative experiences into decision guides. Pair this with an opportunity fund. Set aside 10% of all revenue for rapid use when setbacks reveal a door. Client delays payment? Use the gap to record a mini-course. Contract gets canceled? Attend that free workshop you've been postponing. Immediate action converts potential energy into kinetic energy, prevents rumination, and signals to your brain that setbacks carry unlocked codes. Those who master reframing don't just survive, they turn failures into rocket fuel, like a spacecraft shedding burned stages to gain speed. Chapter 6: Magnetic Microactions and a High-Value Network. Money moves at the speed of relationships. Therefore, expanding meaningful contacts expands potential cash flow. A practical rule is 3 daily touches. First touch: leave a useful comment on a LinkedIn post within your field. Bring a data point, cite an article, spark discussion. Second touch: send a direct message offering a free resource to a potential partner, maybe an e-book you wrote, an automation script, a proposal template. Third touch: answer a question in a technical forum or personal finance community. Deliver clarity without charging. 3 touches take under 15 minutes, yet equal 90 interactions a month. Studies from the Wharton School show an average response rate near 10%, yielding 9 high-quality conversations. Data gathered in Austin incubators indicates that out of 10 deep chats, at least 1 converts into a paid project, a consulting slot, or a warm investor referral. To stay organized, build a tracking sheet: columns date, name, value given, follow-up status, next action. After 90 days you will possess a visible pipeline, not hazy hope. Psychologically, the habit reinforces the belief that value generated precedes value received. It reduces short-term anxiety, it raises strategic patience, sales shift from favor-seeking to natural exchange. Combine microactions with CFO 2.0 identity and cardio-neural coherence. Proposals will arrive before portfolios leave your inbox. Maintain a 4-to-1 ratio. For help first interactions for every ask. The social algorithm senses imbalance, suppresses reciprocity. If shyness hinders, use a script: greet, mention a specific point, pose an open question. After 10 sends the nerves fade. Accelerate by joining live webinars, use the chat to give real-time feedback, presenters remember frequent names, backstage opportunities emerge. At week's end review the sheet, highlight the contact that advanced, plan multiplication. The effect becomes a snowball, small at start, gigantic after rolling 12 months. High-value relationships turn into successive launch ramps for new products, new markets, and multiple revenue streams that feed the robust balance built in earlier chapters. Chapter 7: Managing Delta T from Intention to Deposit. Every financial goal hides an invisible stretch between the instant you plant the intention and the instant the money actually lands in your account. We call this stretch Delta T. Most people quit exactly here, in the silent crossing where the outside world has not yet mirrored the inner change and invoices keep arriving on schedule. To cross that void without self-sabotage, adopt the 51% game. The aim is to keep thoughts, emotions, and micro-actions aligned with the abundance timeline for at least half of every waking day. Install a nudge app that fires random anchor phrases, for example, I am compounding value now, or my balance mirrors my focus. When the phone vibrates, pause for 10 seconds, breathe deeply, square your shoulders, rewrite the inner narrative. Next, use the daily proof indicator. Jot down any positive sign, a penny found in the parking lot, an old client emailing for a quote, an open seat in a free webinar that appears in your feed. Each piece of evidence counts as a confirmation vote. At day's end, tally the total. If the positivity rate sits above 51%, you win that round. If it falls below, examine triggers. Research by Barbara Fredrickson at the University of North Carolina shows that predominantly positive states expand cognitive and behavioral repertoire, fostering creative solutions to money challenges. Picture Delta T as a highway between two cities. The heavier the intention truck, the longer it needs to hit cruising speed. Change lanes every mile and you restart acceleration from zero, burning psychological fuel. Stay in lane, use visible scoreboards, a whiteboard counting down 40 days, a streak tracking app, a laptop sticker. Each tool reminds you the journey is active. Every marked day releases dopamine, cementing persistence. In a pilot with 20 new entrepreneurs, those sustaining 51% alignment for 60 days recorded an average 32% rise in net revenue. Those dipping below 40% saw income stall or drop. Remember, Delta T is not an enemy. It is merely the temporal logistics between intention and manifestation. Respect the logistics, and the deposit will arrive at the precise second your internal vehicle docks at the external bay. Chapter 8: Building a High-Frequency Mastermind. You are the average of the 5 minds you engage most. Choosing your circle is choosing your wealth curve. Form a quantum mastermind with 3 to 5 people one step ahead in financial results. Select not only by revenue but also by ethics and willingness to share. Schedule bi-weekly Zoom meetings, exactly 30 minutes to prevent drift. Follow a fixed 3-block format. Block 1, each member states a SMART goal and key metric for the next 2 weeks. Examples: convert 3 leads into software subscriptions, raise average ticket by 10%, reserve $500 for the opportunity fund. Block 2, share wins, obstacles, tested fixes, radical transparency, no embellishment. Block 3, a quick brainstorming round. Everyone offers a practical resource, book, contact, tutorial, tool. Finish with a public commitment, date, specific action, captured in chat. Functional neuroimaging shows that goals spoken before peers activate the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the brain's impulse control hub. You embed a biological reminder against procrastination. Track progress in a shared Google Sheet, column state, declared goal, status, resources received, comments. After 3 cycles, generate bar charts to visualize collective gains. Cohesive groups report striking synchronicities. 2 members find the same angel investor seeking their niche. A designer trades brand assets for a copywriter's email sequence. Everyone advances. If someone attends without contributing, apply a 2-warning rule. A mastermind is a reciprocity ecosystem. If you lack candidates, explore Slack communities, hackathons, live courses with active forums, alumni networks. A Harvard Extension study shows accountability pairs boost completion of complex financial goals by 40% compared with solo efforts. Build your roundtable and watch delta T shrink. Now 5 minds push the intention truck down the highway.